when I went into porn, I was very well aware of what the hell I was
Mm,
doing. I knew exactly the impacts it would have on my family, my dating life, and my child. So if I decided to do a scene, just like she decided to do the hijabi scene, no one has a gun
mm.
pointed at her head, and then it blew up in a negative way, and then you want to cry, oh my God, I was like, she's grown. She's a grown woman. If I did a scene like that, or if I did something like a race play scene, I
That's
know what I'm
crazy.
doing.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
Have you?
There's
Would you?
hours in between.
Oh my
Fuck.
God.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, okay,
But
because I
now, all right. Now, I've never done porn, but I have done jobs in general as a just
Yeah.
a worker. Y'all never made a dumb decision on some shit because you didn't fully know the scope of some shit at the time? Like an employer, offered you 15 an hour and you later realized that for that job they should have been paying you 20 and you accepted it and blah, blah, blah. Like most people in their 20s don't have the scope of vision to think about their 50s. And that's everybody in every job. A motherfucker who's working construction, who's busting his ass every day because he's getting a very good check, he's not thinking, oh, damn, I'm going to have sciatica when I'm 45, so I shouldn't blame the construction company for not having proper safety shit because I agreed to the job. Like,
At that point, I wouldn't blame the company. I would blame myself. I just wasn't thinking. Personally, me, I'm thinking about 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line. I know exactly what to expect.
and you don't think
So
these companies are too, though?
It's a red flag.
How are you feeling, gorgeous?
me.
You good? Of course you.
No.
What's going on? Yeah,
Well,
okay,
come
very
on.
nice.
You know I'm
'Cause
good,
he was-
baby.
So what were we talking about? I think it was on some Mia Khalifa slander. I think that was what was going on.
No,
it
no,
wasn't slander.
I don't think y'all was slandering. Leave my girl
no.
alone.
No, we was talking about your rampant distrust of the porn industry and how every woman who enters it is subjected to the trauma.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I'm not in the shit. So I'm just, I'm just coming up with armchair politics. I don't fucking know. But it seems like but okay. Some significant amount of performers have negative shit to talk about, including but not limited to straight up being raped on set type shit. Like I watched a whole interview of I'll put the link but this woman just talked about her experience of but the people who do that, like who produce that porn or whatever, all them niggas are in jail now because they was raping a bunch of women creating that content or whatever. And she just talked through that whole like grooming process and them tricking her and da 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 da. So I'm like, at least some people is telling the truth. Like some people is on some bullshit. But then if we're talking about Mia Khalifa, I'm like, what benefit would it be to her to shit on the industry? And maybe there's an answer to this, I don't know. What benefit would it be to her to lie and shit on the industry if those things weren't true or a problem? Like, what does that gain her?
You were wearing the Islamic headscarf, often known as hijab, and of course then it developed into a sort of a sex scene. You must have known how provocative that was.
I verbatim told them, you guys are going to get me killed.
And they said,
They just laughed.
why didn't you then say, I'm not doing it?
Intimidation. I was scared.
I don't think she necessarily lied. Like everybody has their own experience. But my thing is like, when I went into porn, I was very well aware of what the hell I was doing. I knew exactly the impacts it would have on my family, my dating life, and my child. So if I decided to do a scene, just like she decided to do the hijabi scene, no one has a gun pointed at her head, and then it blew up in a negative way, and then you want to cry, oh my God, I was like, she's grown. She's a grown woman. If I did a scene like that, or if I did something like a race play scene, I know what I'm
Crazy.
doing.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
Have you?
There's
Would you?
hours in between.
Oh my God.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, because I was about to say, because when you said it, I was like, oh my, you are kind
forgot
of
that's a thing.
ambiguous if you wanted to.
Yeah,
You could probably get away with a few different things, true.
You could.
yeah. No,
Fuck
but
up a
like
whole race
I
that's
was-
not even yours. Like,
Yeah, like
oh,
I
God.
offered. I got offered to do Ghetto Gaggers. Do you know what that is?
No, well,
Yeah,
no,
I
but
do.
okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Don't
pretty
ask
much
me
where,
how.
like these white men see these black women and then they hire them for porn, but they treat them like they beat them up pretty much while fucking them, like foot on head, like
That's what
forcibly making them throw up, like stuff like that, and they call it Ghetto Gaggers. If I accepted that scene and did it, and then why would I cry about it later? Do you know what I mean? Like I signed up for that. There's weeks and days in between these scenes of when we know about them and then when we do them. We got time to
So
think.
you can think about it, you can pull out that kind of thing.
It's
I
not
feel
like same day and it's like, oh, I need to make rent. fuck, I don't have another scene for 2 weeks. I guess I gotta do this one. Not for a scene like that, especially if it was a hijabi scene like that. There was weeks, days leading up to it. The thought process should have been there. She's grown.
But now, all right. Now, I've never done porn, but I have done jobs in general as a worker. Y'all never made a dumb decision on some shit because you didn't fully know the scope of some shit at the time? Like an employer, offered you 15 an hour and you later realized that for that job they should have been paying you 20 and you accepted it and blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like the you agreed to it shit is like, yeah, but maybe you didn't have the full context. Maybe you're, 22, you're grown, you're an adult, but you don't have the full context of what your life is going to be. Like, most people in their 20s don't have the scope of vision to think about their 50s. And that's everybody in every job. A motherfucker who's working construction, who's busting his ass every day because he's getting a very good check, he's not thinking, oh, damn, I'm going to have sciatica when I'm 45. And so I shouldn't blame the construction company for not having proper safety shit because I agreed to the job. Like, you know what I'm saying?
At that point, I wouldn't blame the company. I would blame myself. I just wasn't thinking. Personally, me, I'm thinking about 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line. I know exactly what to expect. So
you don't think these companies are too, though? Like, you don't think the NFL is thinking about the fact that they can cuss in these young men, with a very lucrative check? These boys not thinking about, or men are not thinking about, hey, I'm not going to be able to get through the full alphabet by the time I'm 35. But now this check looks pretty fucking good. Like,
but
even before I wasn't in the porn industry, I was well aware that the porn industry didn't give a shit about me. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just things. I'm not going to say I did full research, but I looked at interviews. I definitely watched hours of interviews before I actually decided, which, I mean, it wasn't that long before I decided. And I was like, okay, well, I can study and I can research, but like at the end of the day, I know that these companies, even if I was going into music as an artist, I know these companies
they're an employer. They don't give a shit about you.
Yeah. So if I go into something and we are given the option, I'm not sure how it was like however long ago she did porn, like what, 10 years ago, I think, when that scene came out. But at least I know now that if you're on set, if you don't want to do something, even if the dick is this close to your mouth, you can literally say no and you can walk out.
Is that true? Because I'm thinking about that one interview of what do you know the one I'm talking about? It was like Girls Do Porn or something like that. Like that production house that they all went to prison.
Jenna Fox?
That was on Netflix, right?
Oh no, it was right. No, that's not that one.
They're talking about the one with Jenna Fox. Was it a black girl?
I
recently saw like something with her where she was talking about a similar experience. That was in the context of working with a certain person, if I'm not mistaken.
Certain performer? No, it was like somebody in the comments. I'm sure will, or I'll look it up. But it was like, is an interview called like "Porn is the New" like.
And so I have multiple big men in the room. I'm 5'5", don't have my phone, and they're like, okay, take your clothes off. Michael Pratt needs a picture to make sure you are who you say you are. That's when I really felt terrified and began to panic. And eventually they not by my choice.
Supposedly ex-porn star, but as she was talking about it, she was like, I'm not an ex-porn star, like I was just raped during this scene. That's just all that happened. I never did another scene after this. I never done one before, blah, blah, blah. But the company that she was talking about this experience with, they had a bunch of other cases against them, and the whole production team and all of them went to prison because it was a situation like what you described of like them putting you in increasing scenarios, like, hey, sign this paper, do this. And so it's like there's a dick in front of your face and you're like, okay, I don't want to do this. And they're like, you got to do it. Otherwise, we're going to leak the nudes that we already took of you kind of shit. So, but maybe that's not the usual experience. Like that was a super, super deviant kind of situation.
That's a little different. I mean, I'm not the one to say that any victims are lying. That is obviously not something I stand behind. Yeah, and it for me, I'm not exactly sure how I would have reacted, but I know if it was now, if I was still deciding to do that, and it was real. Look, I would still try to walk out. I don't know, but that's a little different. Like
yeah, for sure.
But I've personally never experienced anything like that.
Thank God, because like Eddie, when I be like when we've talked about it before, it's kind of like you have a frame of mind that this is what it is for everybody.
No.
It's like fucked up shit happen, and no matter what you do, it's like fucked up shit is gonna happen. not not to everybody, of course, but like you're always gonna have like these instances of some really like horrific, fucked up shit happening, and that's unfortunate. As unfortunate as it is, it's just like does that mean the entire ecosystem is like just like that? It's like
No,
Yeah,
that's not
no.
even what I'm saying, really. Like,
it just seems like it sometimes because you be going kind of hard.
no, like, cause I feel like when you criticize, like, I know I talk spicy on the podcast, and it seemed like I'm just saying everything's a conspiracy, everything's evil, everything. It's more like, it's like cops. Like, we all understand when we talk about Black Lives Matter and police brutality, we understand that most cops probably get through their career without murdering somebody. Most black people walk down the street without getting murdered by police. Most police interactions don't end in a murder. But when they do, we got to talk about it because it's a problem with the whole thing. Like, even if it's just a little tiny section, it's an impactful one. So if I'm not saying like, oh, most porn is horrific and all these women are getting raped. I'm not saying that. I'm obviously not saying that. Like, we talk about porn on the pod. Like, I'm obviously not saying that. I'm just saying it seemed like maybe it's some dark shit going on in some of these situations that maybe is not being addressed. I don't know. Like, could be wrong.
100%.
I don't know, yeah.
But I just wouldn't like negate the entire industry because of your personal experience.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, to me, it's
I
about
see
like
what you
how
mean.
I talk about how like some women just date dudes who always cheat on them. So at the end of the day, they're like, men are shit. No, your experience has been shit. But it doesn't mean every man is shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, I look at it like that. Like an individual experience
True.
doesn't, but it also doesn't negate a general experience.
Right.
So it's
There's bits and pieces. So I see what you. Yeah. Okay. So your thinking is, Mia Khalifa may very well have had some. Maybe has had some negative experiences. if
More
she
than
says that
likely
she
has had some negative experiences.
Yeah.
Yes, probably so.
especially being
But
a
that
brown
doesn't-
girl, like in what was it, like the early, like what, 08, 09, 2010, something like
yeah.
that. Hell, yeah, I
And she
heard
was
about
doing the
porn.
hijab thing. Yeah, like
Yeah, I think that was way back
Absolutely.
then. So it's
She was
definitely,
getting
and she
death
was
threats.
brown too. So it definitely was different for her versus all of her like white counterparts, for
Yeah,
example.
because they weren't offering the
100%.
hijabi jobs to the white. Because you could get white women, black. You can get any porn star person who's under 25 to do some dumb shit if you put the right money in front of them. They don't know, like people don't. You can get somebody 40 to do some dumb shit if you put the right money in front of them. Like it's always somebody who's willing to coon a bit for whatever their marginalized group is, coon a little bit for some cash.
Yeah.
And I feel like the person who coons has some responsibility. I don't disagree with y'all on that. But the person
Yeah.
asking them to coon has, I think more responsibility. Like
What do
the
you mean?
director of a minstrel show. Like, I'll be specific because I was trying to talk around it. If we have somebody like Candace Owens, right? Candace Owens gets on Fox or whatever and says some coon shit, or Daily Wire or whatever. She's responsible for that. But the Ben Shapiro's and the Fox News and all them white men that are turning those cameras on and paying those electricity bills and saying which talking points can go forward, they're also responsible for providing the platform for her coonery, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
You don't think so?
but I feel like at the end of the day, like the people who are going to listen to Candace Owens, we're going to listen to her regardless. I don't feel like people like that. I mean, they do have
They
an
change
impact
minds.
on people.
They change minds,
Yeah.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's up to the person whose mind is being changed up to be aware of that, to be aware of their own biases and their own ignorance,
Y'all overestimating people's stupidity because I don't argue about this on the pod.
The last
people
thing,
way
the
dumber than y'all.
the last thing Zoe said, I was like, but because like if you ignorant, like how to
People dumb as hell, man. I'm dumb as fuck, and I'm
So
really
that's why I'm not
low-key
even really
dumb.
like, I'm not into like politics or anything like that, because I don't
yeah.
when it comes to like politics and whether it comes down to like actual politics or like if we're talking about race or police brutality, I tend to stay out of all of it because, like you said, for me, the way I see it is people are going to be ignorant no matter what. People are going to have these beliefs no matter what. If you give somebody a platform who is also ignorant, people follow suit, and that's a them problem. I'm not worried about that. So like to me, like speaking out against it is taking up way too much of my time and energy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and I, it's not everybody's job to do that, so I like
yeah.
let it live in that way. But I feel like you can, because I've had my mind changed about things. Like people aren't just set in what they believe from like day one of birth. Like conversations and TikToks and shit that people watch, like really crafts and molds and makes them think like, oh wait, maybe I don't, maybe I do deserve a minimum wage, like a livable wage, or what? Like it makes people think about shit like that. But let's get into some of these dumb topics if y'all are game. You know what I'm saying? If now seems like a good time. So, welcome everybody to Waving the Red Flag, the #1 dating and sex work podcast in the universe. It's your boy Eddie. It's Josh, joined today by Zoey Sinn, you know what I'm saying, of ONLYFANS, pornography, and recent social media fame.
Ooh la la.
Dun, 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 or however the fucking beat goes. Did y'all watch that clip of old boy who was taking care of his wife's sick and disabled ex-husband?
I mean, who's gonna want to take on somebody who still loves their former husband? But James surpassed all my dreams I had of how a future partner could love Brandon. James has never expressed or shown any jealousy. He's never questioned my unwavering love for Brandon or given pause to the role B plays.
And would y'all want that done for you?
Okay.
You get into a car accident crazy.
First of all, pull the plug. If I cannot feed myself, shit on my own, shower on my own, I can't speak. I don't think that's a good way to live. I would not pull the plug. Pull the fucking plug. Please don't put me through that. Because when I see people like that, I guess I wouldn't call it like a vegetative state, but like damn near. He just has a little bit of movement, but he can't like do anything on his own. We don't actually know if there's parts of his brain that can actually still, like, we don't know if he's like fucking crying on the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
He might be on some
if he's even not
shit
there,
inside.
or maybe he is, and he just literally cannot show emotion. He can't say words. He's just sitting there like probably
just
dying on the
still
inside, but he has to eat. So his ex-wife's new husband has to feed him. I don't know if he's sitting there like he just wants to fucking die. Or
like, you imagine he in the chair sitting in the living room, they fucking in the bedroom, and he's just still face like, oh, give it to me, John. Yeah. Oh, give it to me.
Oh no. Well, okay. So in his defense, though, and so I'm 100% with you because I don't. That's not the way I want to live. But
no, wipe my ass.
But in the paralyzed guy's defense, he was expressing emotions of happiness and smiling. You know, it's kind of like that. Hey, like he was happy to. He fucked with the dude. Like he fucked with the current boyfriend.
I mean, well, you really don't have a choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because think about it, like
somehow.
What?
Right.
He could be getting abused. Like because it's like on some. It's kind of like your mental state regresses in terms of like what you might be able to express. Right. He can still express pleasure, contentment. I'm good. I'm happy. Joy. Or the motherfucker could be upset. And in the videos, when the current husband was interacting with the ex-husband, they seemed like besties.
They did. I was just being negative, but I was just thinking like if you were in that situation and you knew your options were be cool with the nigga that's now fucking your ex-wife, or maybe get put in a home where they're fucking you up, it's like you probably would be like, hey homeboy, who's my, like you would be on some friendly shit with the husband because like he's taking care of me, so you would accept shit that you wouldn't usually like. What's he gonna do?
He has no choice.
Like he has no choice. You see, if he was, because the second, come on, if your wife, ex-husband, who's in a wheelchair, you're taking care of him, the second that motherfucker gets snippy, you're pulling out the brochures for the nursing homes. Like, so he would have to be nice.
At the same time, I think that the wife is extremely selfish for keeping him like that. Because like, did they have kids or something? Did she say that they had kids? I thought there was something about kids. Yeah, but I feel like it's selfish. Like a lot of quote unquote good people doing good deeds is indeed selfish. So I feel like she probably did that.
What's she supposed to do?
Let him go. There's no
like to death.
I don't know.
Set him out the pasture. Is that what you mean?
Like, she's supposed to shoot this nigga. Like
going the old way of old. You going the way of old.
Yeah. Everything will be all right. Shh.
I'm pretty sure there was a time when they were in the hospital and they were like, hey, there is no way for this man to take care of himself at all. He will need 100% like 24/7 care. Are you willing to do that?
But given those two options, like the option isn't to kill him.
Right.
To euthanize.
What if they had an option like
she just said, shoot this man. That's the unselfish thing to do. You cold as hell. She really say, yo, as an act of care, just kill like this man.
Not kill him, but like get like a, I don't know, maybe there's like a state subsidized program for him to have like a 24/7 hospice nurse, something like. I could not do that. And I also believe that, you know how they say like God doesn't give you what you can't handle. So they would probably give me that because I'm sorry.
Because I can't do it.
Get somebody else to do it.
But the universe knew that she could handle that. So that's her life. That's her job. But I still feel like it's Selfish.
That seems the
No one-
opposite of selfish to me, because it's not like she's making her current husband do all of the care. And when I think about it, like if I was like that, if I was like fucked up enough to where my mind still works but my body doesn't, and this person who I love and maybe have spent years in a relationship with was like, yo, a relationship isn't going to work, I want to move on.
Yeah.
Would you rather live with me? Would you rather live with me and I take care of you, or would you rather get put in a nursing home? I'm choosing her take care of me if she's willing to do that. Like, a nursing home is not a good option. Like 24-hour hospice care versus being part of a family and being like, that seems the opposite.
But I'm all
of
about
selfish
being
to me.
realistic. Like, how long can you do that for? Can you do that for
life.
like 30?
For
There's
life.
no way.
If you can do it, you can do it.
It's easy to say it.
Yeah, no.
Are you saying
of course,
that you
of
could
course.
do it?
No,
Or just
no,
a person?
baby.
Okay, all right.
No,
all right. That's what I be talking about, man.
Pull it in. I'm not saying I
would.
was. No, I'm talking about if I'm the differently abled gentleman. If it's me that can't move, then you need to take care of me for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? But if it's you, hey, look, I'm sure we can find you a lovely home. Let's look through the brochures together. I'll hold them up for you. I'll turn the pages. Obviously, I know you're gonna struggle a little bit with that. So, which one do you want? Green Gables?
Hey,
Do you want the blue apartment? Like, where do you want? You know what I'm saying? Do you
Green
want the
Gables.
blue
That was very
pastures?
specific.
Right. Well, check this out though. Like,
Auburn
what
pastures.
What if the paralyzed ex-husband was still cheating on his wife? Like one day she just comes back home and then finds him like in bed with another woman.
Wait, the paralyzed man.
The paralyzed man. Like,
How
yeah.
would
What
that
if
Like, you gotta allow that. That's not cheating because she got a whole new
Yeah.
like walkable man.
Like, are you
you're
telling me when
right.
they're at home that she's not giving him a little handy wackadoodle every now and then?
Oh, you think she's still fucking the ex-husband a little bit?
Like, you know,
If
give him
he
a little-
could, if he could use his dick.
If he can,
maybe.
if it were, if it's functional. Yeah, honestly, I think we've talked about the paralyzed man. We've talked about the wife. If I'm the new husband, I'm almost inclined to say
selfish,
allow
no.
it. I
Oh.
get that, but I'm almost like, look, man, he ain't got nothing in his life. I know he's not a threat to me. I know you're not finna leave me for him. Probably, like, I take care of him. It's a terrible situation. If you want to hit him with a handy every so often, I might gotta let that.
At that point, it's a poly relationship.
I mean,
wanna-
look, if I'm wiping another man's ass, we all go together at that point. Like, this is a big
I
happy
mean, yeah.
family. Like, come on, you can't.
Yeah.
The level of closeness that you would have to that ex-husband to where you're taking care of
Yeah.
him is like we're not a couple, we're a triple. Like this
throuple.
we're all in a relationship together. We're a throuple. This is all a relationship. Like, and I think it would probably just be like all love. Like, especially if now I wonder if the ex-husband or the husbands were like previously friends or something. Because I'm like, if my homeboys,
Damn, that's even
you know.
more. Like the husband's friend was just waiting for his turn, and oh my god, thank God that her husband is now like disabled. Now I can just slide my way. There are so many.
Yeah, but you
different
can have my
scenarios
girl if
that-
you taking care of me like that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what were
he
my
gonna do?
options?
The
Really?
options. Yeah.
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 Well, what's he gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna take your bitch. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it?
You
What you trying to get
Talk
into?
shit to him every
You
morning.
gonna turn the
what's
wheelchair
kid?
up to maximum power? Come on, you can't catch
I
me.
know you heard us last night, huh, my nigga? Yeah, you ain't never did it like that before, cuz. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember when we was in 7th grade? Yeah, you remember Charlize?
Fucked up.
The long game.
You've
I've been playing it forever.
Since day one.
We find out he cut the
Listen,
dude's
we've been-
brakes.
Listen, we've been sitting here for a minute. I need to go use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah, no, I can imagine him 100% being like, "I cut the brakes. It was me, Barry, the whole time."
It was me, Barry, the whole time.
But okay, so if you were the husband, do you think you could do it? The new
Ex-husband,
husband.
new husband.
The new husband.
Look, I can't do a lot of regular relationships like off right now, bro.
He
Like,
said, I
mean,
can't
like,
even be in love with one person.
nigga,
let
like
alone
barely. Like,
baggage.
shit, and you got a whole
Situation.
your situation. Like, I
He
mean,
said
like
a whole paraplegic. Yeah.
I'm trying to be. No, that's I'm
No, that's literally
okay,
no.
okay.
That's literally you're good. I mean, look, maybe
Okay.
Alvin would this. I'm saying you're good.
Okay, cool.
You got a paraplegic problem.
I mean,
That's fine.
you got that PP, but
Yeah.
okay. I don't think I could do it, but once again, I don't think I could do like many relationship type situations. You know, I'm easing my way back into it, trying to anyway. But my thing is with the wife. I think she got that real PP.
What you mean? She got the what?
She got that real
paraplegic
PP.
problem.
Like, no. Well, that's one PP, but
Oh, that penis psychosis.
her pussy and personality must be phenomenal.
That pussy personality power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, for the new husband.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta slap.
I've never had no pussy so good that I was like, this, I would wipe another man's ass to retain access to this.
Or
Okay.
the man just has low self-esteem. Low self-worth.
Yeah,
I don't know,
think
because
about
I
that.
don't think
Yeah.
any, or they're
I was
both
trying to build her
two
up.
people with really
Yeah,
big
exactly.
hearts. Like they're just really just big hearted. They just don't get it. They just don't look at the world the way we do. They look at the world more of like this is a person.
That's real.
I'm kind of going down that rabbit hole to that mindset of like treating people as people before anything else, like their roles, their gender, and all that kind of stuff. So like I could see like if they both honestly just all like really enlightened, spiritual, Buddhist type people where there's like a person is a person no matter their disability status or anything like that. I could see that. That would make sense. But I
not for you.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
And like I have a big heart, but my heart's probably
It's
never
not
going to
that
be
big.
that big.
Yeah.
No.
You haven't done ayahuasca yet. Okay. Because once you
I've
do
wanted
that, your
to.
ego does.
I've done DMT before.
DMT.
You have?
What was that like? Okay.
Yeah. I really want to do it.
So we were coming down off of an LSD trip. So an LSD trip probably lasts 6, maybe 8 hours. And we smoked some weed. And it was my ex-boyfriend at the time. I think I was like 21 years old. And his friend who we were doing it with was like, do y'all want to smoke some changa? I'm like, what the fuck is changa? He's like, like a form of DMT. I was like, cool. I was scared shitless because I had seen like simulations of like what it's like to do a DMT trip, or where people like set up their phone and they go into the trip and they're like just paralyzed like that.
Oh yeah.
It looks terrifying. But when I did it, my experience wasn't anything crazy. I remember there was a tapestry in front of me and it had like a mandala type design. I looked at it as I was going into the trip and kind of in a way got sucked into it as like the whole room became that piece of tapestry, which was like cool. And then I heard like humming and like 1,000 people laughing. So it wasn't too crazy.
How'd you know it was 1,000? You said you heard
I
1,000
didn't know
people
it was
laughing?
1,000. I'm just saying there was a lot of people.
Okay,
You could
okay.
hear like different chatter and stuff. So it was kind of creepy, but I didn't have a crazy, as they call it, like a breakthrough. A breakthrough is what they consider when you meet God.
Yeah,
So
I
I
was just
didn't
about to
have
ask you
that.
that. Yeah.
You were just in the waiting room.
I've had
for
more of
little
a
while.
breakthrough on shrooms than anything. But DMT, I would do it again though. But I definitely want to try ayahuasca.
It feels like when I watch the ayahuasca shit and people do that tea, it's like they're like vomiting and like it's like a terrible until you actually get into the high, and I'm like,
Okay, go over there by the fire in the dirt. Go to the dirt.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, do you need to do, like? It seems like smoking. It just seems like a more efficient way to do it. Like, really, I gotta vomit and get sick and shit myself, and then I go to another dimension. Like,
and then I'm a better
just skip
person.
that.
Like,
and then I'm a better person. Like, I don't.
Trials
I'm
and
happy being a
tribulations.
bad person.
I don't know. I kind of like that because you got to go. If you have to go through like adversity to get to like the
like
really
birth.
good part, like you're paying the price up front. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's life in general.
Exactly.
You got to go through. So I mean, with ayahuasca, it's just a very like immediate thing. Yeah.
That's like the thing with DMT
I'm not
though,
that kind of
because
person,
so I saw this video night before last where this guy was talking about his experience with DMT. He was like, the guy that gave it to him was like, okay, we're gonna smoke it and make sure you take 3 hits. You take 1 hit, it's not gonna be it. Take another hit. He took the second hit, started panicking because the room just started doing all sorts of shit, and he just started to like go off somewhere. And he's like, I heard the dude was like, 1 more hit, take 1 more
From
hit.
another dimension.
And he was like, he saw the panic on my face. He's like, 1 more hit. He's like, I took it. He's like, that's when I met God. That's when everything just opened up.
Maybe you only took the first
you
hit.
experience that meeting God. Like one thing I know all psychedelics have in common is that
Yeah.
when you're on them, you understand like all of the monetary things fade away. Like
Yeah.
one thing that I will always think of, and the reason why I think the way I do now about money is I remember my first like shroom trip. I thought I was like, oh my God. Like once I was like deep into like tripping fucking balls, I was like, damn, like this shit don't matter. Like none of this shit matters. Status doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter. It's just sadly and that's where I got also the idea that humans are the only species on Earth that have to pay to live here, pay to live comfortably. And so like I feel like you realize once you're on shrooms or any kind of psychedelic that you come to the conclusion that like we are one, we are everything is us. None of this shit matters.
All is one, one is all.
Really get that idea. So I'm not gonna say you need DMT or ayahuasca to get to that. You just have to be maybe a few bouts of shrooms or LSD. But it's the same consensus I've seen that people say once they've hit that ego death is that nothing matters and that we're all one. We're all the same.
Very spiritual experience. Absolutely, like does wonders for mental health and like could do so much good for mental health applications if it was introduced into therapy or whatever guidance shits. But we both had like a similar reaction
to what?
But Zoe said we're the only species that has to pay to live. I was like, well, given the alternative.
I mean, I disagree. Like that's all I'm saying. Because I feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying real quick, like. Nature is metal as fuck, like given the alternatives, because like them niggas is fighting for their lives daily.
Daily. You a goddamn antelope, and I'm like, if you gave an antelope the option of working in McDonald's to pay to live, that motherfucker would immediately say yes. It's rough as hell out here. You ever seen like a goddamn wildebeest getting eaten from the asshole first by a leopard or some shit? That motherfucker is not like, but I'm free. I'm free in the world. I don't have to work under capitalism. Like, but he's not thinking about that. It's bad, but like I've never almost been eaten, like not once in my life.
True. But that's where the complexity of being a human comes in. That we don't have to live barbaric, but I feel like I feel like there's a better way. There's a better way to do this thing.
No,
like
100%. 100%.
There's got to be a better way, but that's never going to happen unless like everybody now like just goes away and we start again. But at that same time, I feel like that's the nature of evolution. Like when every time you see like an apocalyptic movie, what always happens? The people, they start this like
collective.
Yeah, they start this collective, and what happens? Someone always ends up in charge. Someone always has to be lower. Yeah, like so. I feel like it's always. If we try to restart society, it's always going to inevitably happen like that. Someone's always going to have to be in charge. There has to be exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see an issue with somebody being in charge, but like the implication of that is the distribution of power and then like the ego that comes with it. And even if you do have like a person that is like good, righteous, and pure of heart that's in charge, it's always going to be that one little evil motherfucker that's in the corner plotting and scheming because he want what you got and like he want more, you know what I mean? So I think once human beings can rid ourselves of egos, we're going to be just stuck in this cycle.
Yeah, and I feel like people definitely think, especially Gen Z, definitely thinks that we're going to be the generation that does that, and I don't, it's going to be millennia until that fucking happens. If we don't blow each other up first in the process.
Which may happen, but I feel like we need to have like just AI run this whole shit. Like I feel like if you get like one good clean computer running everything so it's not, people fighting for power and shit, I feel like that could be the wave. That might be the new iteration of where everything just settles the fuck down. Like I know I've seen Terminator, but they fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta do it different than how they did it.
But my thing about AI too is like humans created AI. So how good can AI be if it has the biases of humans?
I mean, unless the humans created
are also these magnificent humans, which they're not.
True.
So
we gotta have some monks. We gotta have some Buddhist monks make an AI and then have that take over the whole world. That's true. They just be chilling. They really just spend a lot of time like punching bricks and stuff. I'm like, why are y'all doing all that? Like, I know, like y'all spend all this time to get to Nirvana, and you're just like making little making sand art and karate chopping cinder blocks all day. Like, what is that even? Like, why? Who are you even fighting?
That is okay. For one, that's one type of Buddhist. Oh yes. Oh, that was deep.
Wait, what you say?
Deep.
They're fighting themselves. I feel like at the end of the day, we're our biggest worst enemy. Me. I hold my biggest demons. I hold my I hold me back.
Okay. Wait, are you Buddhist? I got confused.
So I used to be when I was like 17, 18. I dabbled in it, but
I retract my previous statement. I didn't realize we had Buddhists in the room. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I'm sure you punch bricks for a good reason.
I'm talking about like the teachings and stuff, like the becoming one with everybody, and that no one's better than the other person, all that kind of stuff. There are Buddhist teachings, I guess. I haven't picked up a book like that in a while, but I've been thinking about it. My boyfriend, he studies Buddhism, and he's explained to me, and I'm like, well, that's kind of what I already believe. I don't care about what other people are doing. I care about mastering my own self and becoming the most enlightened version of my own self and tearing down all my biases and standards and selfishness to become the best version of me. So would I consider myself a Buddhist? No, not yet, because I haven't, mastered all of the teachings and stuff. But I would consider myself like, I definitely will go along with their core beliefs. Yeah.
You got some Buddhist tendencies, some Buddhist beliefs for sure.
Buddhish for sure.
Buddhish.
So what's the long-term goals look like? Like what's the it seemed like you were implying like you got like the 5-10 year plan of like the kind of person you're trying to be or the type of life you want to lead. Like what's that look like?
I guess like my end goal of a person I'm trying to be is the utmost loving and caring and a good sense of I can be selfish at times and selfless. Because right now my selfish level is extremely high. But
I'm not taking care of my ex-husband if he get hit by a fucking car.
I don't think I'd ever want to be that selfless. Yeah, okay. But I'm gonna choose me, you know what I mean? But I gotta put me first. I want to be a very, very sweet, open mind. Because I used to always call myself like open-minded, like, oh, I'm so open-minded. But I was still being a bitch. I was still not listening to other people's stories. I have to give credit to my partner that I'm with now, who's helped me open my eyes that I'm not done healing. I'm not done working on myself. I thought I was. I really fucking thought I was like, no, this is it. I'm good. Like, I'm protecting my peace. This is amazing. But there's so much more that I need to do. Like, like I said, I'm extremely selfish. Like, this is one thing that I'm working to tear down is looking at men in my life to be providers and protectors, because I didn't have that growing up as a kid. So I'm trying, so I might always talk about like, it's not cool to be a sprinkle girly, but there are some times that I still deal with.
What's that mean? Just catch me up on the lingo.
A softer way version of calling yourself or being a prostitute, I guess. That's what I would say. It's just a soft version.
Okay, got you.
Like sprinkle. If you can't provide for my lifestyle, then you're not worth my time. Which to me is fucked up. Because I don't believe that we should be looking at humans like that. Yeah. I used to look at men that way, like quite literally very recently. Like I think I changed my mind when I met my partner.
Okay.
You said a few days ago?
Yeah.
Talking
actually
stuff.
New Year's.
No,
it's a new me. That was old. Right. That's old shit. I used to believe that.
The new body, baby.
Yeah. Then it turned Wednesday, and I said I'm not like that no more. That's me. As soon as I get a new belief, I really act like any fuck shit that I said before from the old belief wasn't me. But you said yesterday, hey, I don't know about that.
That's not me.
I had an ego death.
I'll gaslight the shit out of you. That's not me.
I'm Buddhish. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Reincarnation. That's, yeah.
But so my beliefs on it, my stance on it changed when I was in a relationship last year from June to November. And
are you in that same one, or this is the new one?
New person.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he came into my life, like I was in porn. I was deep. The whole body was in porn. I was so deep in porn, and it was making my head. You know what I mean?
Galvanized by porn.
I was raised in it.
It was born, molded by it.
By the time I came out of the porn, OnlyFans was blinding to me.
So in my head, so in my head, I was like thinking like sprinkle. Like if you can't pay for my nails, you can't pay for my hair, you can't pay for this gym membership that I'm not doing. You can't be my boyfriend. And so the guy I was seeing at the time, we got along like white on rice. We were like best friends. That's me. Any partner I've been with, we were like best friends. Like, so he was willing to change his whole job for me in order to afford me.
That's crazy.
And so, but I realized, because I quit porn for him after a few months, and I realized that I became like the stay-at-home girlfriend. All my shit was taken care of and paid for. And I realized after a while, after sitting as a stay-at-home girlfriend, I literally learned how to cook amazing fucking food. I didn't know I was a good cook until I tried it. I'm glad I did, get to experience that.
So he has
amazing cooking.
Time to practice. Okay.
So I was doing all the stay-at-home girlfriend duties,
pasta.
And I realized I'm not doing anything. I'm fucking miserable. So when we got out of that relationship, I realized that I like being creative. I like doing shit. I find my value in my work. And it's not that I don't need a man. It's that I want a partner instead of, I don't want to be a wife. I want to be a partner. And so when it came to like the men being the providers and stuff, I didn't become bitter like a lot of women do if they're like, oh, I don't need a man. I'm hyper independent. Like I choose me first. You know what I mean? Like I don't need no man. I can do all for myself. Can I do all for myself? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. But when I met my new partner, I realized I don't have to do it all by myself, but he also doesn't have to be the provider and the protector, the physical protector, yes, because I like men bigger than me. He doesn't have to be the provider because I enjoy how I make money. And I realized that the only reason I needed a man to take care of me at that time is because I was coming at that relationship with a lacking mindset because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So once I finally figured out what I wanted to do and started doing it, holy shit, I didn't need a person to financially take care of me.
So that last guy, the one who you quit porn for, is not the current, or like industry porn or whatever, is not the current guy. So
no,
the last guy was paying for the lifestyle. Yeah. Okay, you broke up with him, went back to porn, and then the new guy is, hey, look, I'm not. Well, so how did y'all get into like? I'm not paying for shit.
Because he was like, I'm gonna quit my job. You get out of porn, and I'm gonna provide. And then like, you know what? Nah, actually, I want to go back.
I don't like this.
Bye.
Yeah.
And then how did you get the new guy? Yeah. And how did he get you on board for like, hey, look, you're in porn. That's cool. I'm not paying for nothing. Like, how did that? I'm sure the conversation wasn't exactly like that, but like, how did that happen?
So he met me right when I was getting into the influencer stuff. He met me like probably 2 weeks before I actually went viral for that video. And then I started getting brand deals and all this kind of stuff where I literally did not have to. And I was already making the decision for that's the difference between the last relationship and this one. I was already making the transition out of mainstream porn. I just didn't clarify that I was completely out until I could see for at least 2 months that I could make a living doing OnlyFans and everything else. And that's when I decided to be completely out of porn. And so there was no conversation that he wasn't going to pay for shit. Okay, first of all, I make more money than like 90% of people my age. So I had a friend check me because when we first started talking, I had those like limitations in my brain. I was like, oh my God, like he's like my perfect person. He is a great person. He's sweet. He has ambition and drive. His lifestyle though, it didn't match mine. And so I was a little on the fence because he didn't have money like I did. And my friend checked me and my friend was a guy at the time. He was like, you understand that you're 27 years old. How many 27-year-old men that you know are making 5 figures a month? And I was like, well, none. And the guys that I have dated
in this economy?
Mm-mm. And I hear, people can say, oh, what about dating a nurse or a doctor? I do not like those men because
even a doctor, they're broker than you too still. Cause like 5 figures a month, what is that in a year?
Not,
that's millions,
over
right?
100. No.
It's still 6 figures.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So a doctor might be about what you're making or like a little bit less or a little bit more.
Yeah. Cause the doctor that I briefly dated before on and off for like years was making like 400, 500K a year. He was very well off, but
that's more than you, or that's...
Hell yeah, that's more than me. Oh my God.
Okay.
I make a lot, but like I ain't out here making $100,000 a month on OnlyFans. Yeah, like I'm just not doing that yet. But what I found is I sat with myself.
Bust that pussy open there, Josh. You can make.
I'll be slinging dick on OnlyFans if I could make a fraction of that money. Goddamn.
Honestly, you could, but you'd have to have a different audience.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
You could do it.
Yeah,
because I remember, Zoe, in one of these videos, you said something like, dudes can't bust their pussy open for like da-da-da. And I was like, dudes can. Like, if as a guy, if you want to fuck some men for money, you can make probably not as much as a girl, but you can make some money.
But just the fact that men would have to do gay things, like gay for pay, is on a moral dilemma. That's a moral dilemma. The fact that men have to
all the time.
But no, it's not the same.
But we like girls. We're open.
It's not the same.
I think y'all like girls more than men.
Girls wouldn't like me as much. Girls, I would have a problem with dating women.
Well, okay, that's but if they find out, but that's the same. But women have the same.
I'm leaving.
Women have the same problem.
Only if they find out, my nigga. Like we can pimp that asshole, my nigga. Bro, I'm trying to tell you.
We can sell your feet pics, bro. Let me manage you, bro. I'm gonna make you rich. We gonna take over this whole town. No, but I'm saying like if a girl does porn, that don't you saying that don't fuck her dating prospects up? Like it does.
Having
done porn, that fucks up what like how dudes look at you, right? In terms of dating
Yeah.
prospect, right?
Yeah. But the way I look at it is I'm already into really, like, how do you say, freaky and open people.
Okay. Would have to
So even if I wasn't doing porn, I'd still need my partner to be like very open-minded and very a little freaky deaky, you know what I mean? Whether that means like a shit fucking head tattoos, face tattoos, shit. I just like that the
They gotta
freaky
look a
side
little,
of people.
yeah.
Very free flowing people. So I feel like me doing porn in a way, yeah, it definitely hurt my dating a little bit, but it weeded out all the boring people. You know what I mean? So I've met some interesting ass open-minded people. So now that after my last relationship, I decided not to date while I was still doing porn, but I still knew that when I got out of porn, I'm still going to have to tell these men that, hey, I was in porn. And that's still going to negate a lot of people. But so to me, it's like, I'm not saying porn helped my dating. It definitely hurt it, but
But it helped
like,
weed shit out
the
in a way.
people I wouldn't have never even wanted to marry, actually, ever.
Yeah.
So
Pros and cons like anything else.
win-win, you know?
Yeah. Mm.
All right. Well, look, I think we're probably gonna close it around here, unless we've got any particularly salacious hotels that we want to drop or tell, or what we got, Josh? Dropping the OnlyFans
Oh, I
feed
mean,
pics link
No,
this episode. Is this the one?
If we
Is this the one?
what when I expose my ultimate whole story or something else.
Oh, would you like to?
It's an ultimate host story.
How much
We don't
time
know
we
what
got?
happened to him. We don't. Yeah. How much time? Because I know you're at the end of your time zone. How much time we got?
Oh,
you're
well,
right.
I was waiting on my boyfriend to get back. He's not back yet to like pack up
Okay,
and
cool.
leave. So what's his ultimate host story?
Let's see what Zoe thinks of this.
Okay.
Yeah. See what you think. What happened? Because we still don't know what happened to him. Like we still don't know what this situation even was. Maybe
We
you
got theories.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
So basically, one of the lowest points in my life, technically homeless, working, going door to door, blah, blah, blah. So the person who I was staying with wasn't answering his phone. So I had to meet up with my friends at this restaurant called Hudson Grill. We on the porch or whatever, like the outside area. And like this woman pulls up in a red Mercedes. She gets out the car. Looks like she's probably like, early, mid-30s, short haircut, still beautiful woman. Makes a
And you're
beeline
like
to me.
20s, right?
Yeah. So like she just makes a beeline to me and like the look on her face is like she's trying to get into something. We talking, oh yeah, mind you, she's on the phone this entire time. Like she walks up to me, she's on the phone like talking to somebody, but she's having a full on conversation with me, flirting with me. At one point, just to kind of let me know how serious she was, she like grabbed my dick. Like she actually put her hands inside my pants and like grabbed my shit. And she was like, and I was like, I gave like a smirk, like, So I'm like, and she's on the phone. I'm like, is this real? So I just grabbed the titty, and then she gave me the look, like, yeah, we can do this.
And
So
are we in the middle of a restaurant still?
We're in the middle of a restaurant, bar and grill.
we're in the cut, like outside on the patio type situation. Like it's late at night,
Mezzanine.
mind you. We ain't just busting it wide
Al
open
fresco.
out in public.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was like, all right, well, come back. You trying to come? I'm like, okay. And she's on the phone the entire time. So we go back to her car, and I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, are you trying to set me up? And she looked at me crazy. She's like, set you up with sex? I ain't had nothing to say to that. I was like, you got me there.
You got gamed. She hit you with some game.
Right? We get in the car. We go back to her spot. When I walk in, it's like dark. And in the back of my head, I'm still like, okay, this could be like a setup. I might be about to get robbed, get killed. Not that I got anything from them to rob me, but, could be bad. So I got a pen in my pocket. I'm like, niggas is getting stabbed. Like eyeballs are getting taken out. They ain't going out without a fight.
He probably wouldn't have won, but
Oh, I wouldn't have. But like, just the fact is, like, y'all niggas was gonna regret that shit. That's all I'm thinking about.
It wasn't gonna be easy.
The booty is mine. It belongs to me. You cannot take my booty. So it's dark. And like there's a hallway, right? And I just see like this big ass TV and it's football playing and there's a girl under a robe. Like she's got like a blanket. She's under a blanket with a bonnet on, right? I'm like, okay, football. Where the niggas at? Okay, coast is still clear. We just gonna call the person that picked me up, the initiator. The initiator just goes upstairs and leaves me downstairs with this random girl on this L-shaped couch. And I'm just sitting there like, okay. So chick number one, the girl that's sitting at the bottom on the couch, she just started talking to me like, so how do you know such and such? I'm like, we just kind of met. You sure that's not your girlfriend or nothing? I was like, oh yeah, nah, it ain't nothing like that. The initiator comes back downstairs. She leaves. Chick number one just says, come here. So I just like scooted over. She's like, come closer. So I just scooted over a little bit more, and she just whips off the blanket, and she's butt-ass naked underneath. She's like, in my mind, I'm like going crazy, but outwardly, I'm just trying to play everything so cool, and I just said, is that right? And I just started sucking on titties. And like, she was just like, talking like, oh,
Such
yeah,
a good
she's on
line.
the phone. I was just,
Like she made a point where it tits.
right?
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Indeed. And oh yeah, mind you, I keep on forgetting, like, she's on the phone.
Oh
Chick
wait,
one is also on
girl
the phone.
one is also on the
Girl
phone
one
the
is
whole time
also
she's
on the
talking
phone.
to you.
Like,
They all got
everybody in this story,
they're communicating,
on the
walkie-talkies.
phone. They're communicating,
Okay.
yeah. As soon as, like, I started, doing like the breast action, whatever, she just started talking shit. Oh my God, you already know what to do. You doing da-da-da-da. Started talking cash shit. And she was like, you got the condoms? I was like, yeah. And I gave it to her. She put the condom on with her mouth and never had that shit done before. That was cool. And
That's
like,
next
dexterity.
I know, right? What a
That's crazy.
bonnet, girl. Give me head in that bonnet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, with the bonnet on. So we're going at it, like, for a little minute. And she's talking shit. Like, I have never had somebody, like, just talk so much, like, sexual shit, like, praise shit.
Hitting you with the
it's
praise
she's still on the phone?
affirmation.
Yes. It's also kind of like a level of I feel like there was some level of performance.
Like
because,
she was
the people
doing it
on
for the
other
phone?
end, exactly. It was also
Yeah.
kind of like getting off on, like, sex, too. And she was just like, hold on. Old girl's coming back. Like, put your clothes back on. Don't say anything. Like, we didn't do anything, whatever. The initiator walks back in the house, goes upstairs, don't say shit to either one of us, doesn't even look in our direction. And I'm just kind of looking like, okay. And then she comes back downstairs and just walks right back out. Me and chick number one, we just look at each other like, what was that about? I was like, I don't know. Like, you live here, like, you tell me. She was just like, so can I have some more? I was like, yeah, why not? Shit. I mean,
I got some more,
my
so.
chances. I got some more to give. Chick number one, she was like really petite. Then there was another girl that came in. Not
Compact.
yeah. She was
about 2 feet tall. Yeah.
Thin girl. So the other girl just comes in. She goes upstairs, and she was like, hey, my friend said she might want to join us. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, oh my God, am I about to have a threesome, nigga? This is already crazy enough. And I was just like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, shit, if you want to. Yeah. And I can't remember in what position I was in for my dick to just be out on this couch while me and her are still doing something. But chick number two comes back downstairs, reaches over the couch, and grabs my dick and said, okay, yeah, I might want some of this. Like,
This sounds like a fucking porno. Like, this just sounds unreal.
yeah, I know, right? See, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
even with you and your profession, like, you can't.
You and your profession.
You're in the profession that this would happen in.
Therapist. Even in your line of work, even as a person who's
This
done
is wild.
porn, you're like, this seems like porn.
This is wild. Chick number two walks back downstairs, and I just look over my shoulder, and she's butt ass naked, and like she's thicker, like long black hair, like around here, light skin, well, about your complexion. And I said to
Brown
myself,
skin, but all right.
well, I mean, whatever. And I just
I'm
said
just
to
defending
myself, I said,
myself.
oh my God, I get to fuck you too. And they literally tagged out, like them girls actually tagged out because chick number two was on the phone. Me and chick number two started messing around. And by the way, like, this is like this was actually the safest sex I've ever had in my life. For one, they wouldn't let me like put my bare hands like on their vagina because I tried to like, I'm trying to return the favor. She put the condom on with her mouth and shit. I'm trying to return the favor. I'm a pleaser. So she was like, no. She moved my hand away, and she was like, well, if you want to do that, you got to go wash your hands. I said, yes, ma'am, and I respected that because when was the last time
Hand sanitizer. Yeah.
you might have asked somebody to wash their hands, or you wash your hands before you put your mitts down there? You know what I mean?
People out
You
here
gotta
changing
respect it.
oil and changing tires and touching doorknobs and shit. Like, you don't want
Right.
that on your clit.
You just taking your hands down there with the assumption that it's clean. Like, that ain't.
They're definitely not. Hands are disgusting.
So, went and washed my hands, and me and this girl actually had like a chemistry. Like, there was a chemistry there. 'Cause she taught me some shit.
Breaking Bad.
And let me tell you, but nigga, we was cooking up that goddamn that Walter White.
Hey,
That
Oh
Jesse
my
Pink
God.
goddamn shit. Let me tell you, that blue
Jesse
magic.
Pink Man.
Yes, indeed. When I was like, going down there with my hand, and she was like, grab it. Have you ever just had a handful of pussy?
No,
About a
it's
half
only-
a handful.
half a
Yeah.
handful.
Yeah.
Was it like fat coochie? Like, was
It was some pretty delectable. It was not delectable,
Okay.
but some Yeah, we'll just go with fat. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Meaty?
Meaty. It was a little meaty, not meaty.
It's a meaty vagina.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
It was a little. It was. But
Yeah, I've never had a full
the
cup
feeling,
of pussy.
the feeling. Yeah, it's just the feeling of it though. But I finally get mine, and she just says to me, "Okay, well, yeah, you can you can put on your clothes. But do you mind coming downstairs?" And I say, "Okay, well, damn, this is the part where I die."
I said, I'm dead. But I had the nigga in the full Nelson, so
Because what's downstairs? Luckily, we go downstairs. There's just like another like a blow up mattress, and then she just says, "Can I have some more again?"
That's how you get chained to a radiator, bro.
And I'm just like, "What the
That's
fuck?"
an Al-Qaeda shit.
And I don't know. It's nothing. Nothing's crazy. It's just a blow up mattress and a little blanket. And I was
the
like, well,
basement?
I was like, yeah. And I'm thinking like, if
That's
you can get it up,
freaking sucks.
Right?
yeah.
That's what you see in the like crime drama, like
Can I
true
ask,
crime movie.
were they like American?
Yeah, they was
Ooh.
black. They was black women. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That makes it less scary. But if they if
So-
they had like Russian accents or some shit, then
Oh
it'd be
hell
like,
no!
bro,
Yeah, no, yeah.
You got to get up out of there.
No, they was black. They was black girls. And the chick, she was like, "Yo, can I have some more?" Like, I ain't even get adequate enough time to rest. I'm like, shit. I mean, if you can get it up, I mean, why not? So yeah, I couldn't get it up, and then mind you, phone never left. She was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I think he's done, girl. He's done." It's like, okay, well, yeah, put back on your pants. My friend will take you back to the car. So we go back upstairs. I see the initiator come downstairs. It's a townhome, by the way. So the initiator comes downstairs, and she got another girl with her that I haven't even seen. Like, I don't even know where the hell this girl came from. I'm just in this state of shock and disbelief. Like, this just happened, and y'all gonna let me go? Okay. The initiator and this chick number 3, who I haven't seen before, they take me back to where my car was parked at the Hudson Grill, and on the way there, like, I'm just quiet. Like, I'm just like, how the fuck did this happen? She was like, "Did you enjoy yourself?" I was like, yeah, I did.
A little confused, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you.
Confused,
I
but
got
I
nuts.
said, thank
you
you.
know?
God bless you, ma'am. God bless you.
That's what I'm saying, a blessing. It's-
100%.
yeah, ended up spending the night in my car that night, but it was,
You slept good
So
though,
that-
for sure.
I slept good.
Were there cameras in the house?
That's what
I don't
I was
know.
thinking.
I don't
That's
know.
exactly what I was thinking.
Like a voyeur cam or something?
I don't know, but if there is, like, I would
maybe
like to
they
see it.
Or maybe they just, because I was going to say maybe prostitutes, but you didn't pay them.
No. They
I
didn't even
thought
give
it
them
might
gas
have-
money.
Oh yeah, that was she did ask me for gas money. She asked me for $10, and
But he
I
said
was so
no.
broke. I was so broke. It's not that trust me, if I'd have had it, I would have gave it 20.
I would have paid
Okay.
more, yeah.
I spent my last bit of money on condoms. Like, that was the
Yeah.
I got three options of what could happen.
Okay,
A,
thank you, because I'm
there was
so
like
curious.
cameras in the house, and what year was this?
you could say the general
20
general.
early 2010s.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, never mind. I was gonna say OnlyFans, maybe not.
Right.
Okay, maybe
Nah,
some
OnlyFans didn't
cams
exist.
for some like voyeur thing to put on Pornhub, maybe. 2, that was like literally their whole plan. Like, they're just freaky ass girls living in a house, and they're like, let's just do some crazy ass shit. Or
They
3,
did it
your
before.
friend set you up. Did you say you were with friends?
Oh, see, okay, so no, it wasn't my friend, because I asked them if they knew my friend, and she looked at me crazy. But no, he did not set me up whatsoever. It was, fact was, I'm positive he did not have nothing to do with that. I knew he had nothing to do with it, like, by the time I entered the house, because if he would have been there, like,
He wouldn't have missed out.
I told him about it the next morning. He was mind blown just like everybody else. But the thing is, they have done this shit before. They've done that before, because it was almost like a well-oiled machine, damn near. Like,
It was a
I pulled up the
process.
phones. Yeah, it was a process.
Yeah.
Like, the initiator would go
Like
out,
assembly
find
line.
somebody, and the phones were there for their safety. So if the guys acted up, if it was in danger, I'm pretty sure the female ninja assassins would have came out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. That's
And
fucking weird.
Oh yeah, no girl did ask me, have I, like, when she was she was giving me head, she said, "You been here before?" I was like,
as
no.
she recognized the mouthfeel or something,
Right.
like I've sucked this dick before.
Yeah, I think they just planned that shit. I mean, maybe that was just like,
And they
maybe
do
that
it
was
over and over again. Is that like, have you known anyone to have done that kind of thing? Like, is that part of the
I've
freaky
never.
side of the sex world?
If he paid him, that would make sense. I'd be like,
Right.
oh, okay, you fell for a hooker.
Yes.
But you didn't get.
They only
that's why
asked
I
for
asked your
$10 and
friend,
he didn't even
because
pay that.
Only asked me for gas money.
And that's why I was going to ask if it was your friend that set you up. Maybe he wanted you out the house for a little bit. And there was just.
That
How much do
nigga
you
would have
think
just
that would
took
cost?
the.
Because that don't even sound like a setup. Like, if your homeboy does, that's a birthday present. Like,
Yeah.
how much would that have
Right.
cost? Like, a night with what it sounds like you fucked 3 to 4 hookers over the course of an hour and some change?
Oh,
like,
not hookers.
sorry, my fault. Full service sexual workers.
Just some wild women doing what wild women do.
Okay, but you said, but like, if they were to have been, if they were to have been paid, then they would have been sex workers. In that situation, how much would that cost? You can
Back
give
in
me
the
my
early
own treatment.
2010s, if it was
Yeah.
back in like early 2000s, like 2010, 12, probably maybe just a flat $1,000.
Do you think you got any homies that would be willing to? Honestly, I feel like since you were homeless, they should have just paid your rent if it was a homie just helping you out, like
Right.
a secret admirer. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there was no rent for me for to be paid, but I get you. Like, they could
Oh,
have just
true,
given me
yeah.
that
Your car note.
$1,000, you know.
'Cause you live
yes,
in
I
the car,
literally
so
had
yeah.
to.
He was just like,
Not
no,
a-
he's pent up. Just, give him some.
Yeah.
That's a little crazy. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's like a wild story. I would be telling my grandkids about that story. That sounds
Oh.
fun though. Confusing but fun.
Very confusing, exciting, scary. It was all of that.
yeah.
But it
and
could have
that's how I
went
met your
really
mother.
bad if anything happened. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Could have fucking died. I probably would. I
Terrible.
probably would have gone through with it too. Well, look, if you walk into a house filled with women who all want to have sex with you with no fucking explanation whatsoever, no cash exchanged, you might be seeing a red flag. But at the same time, if you are at a period in your life where you assume that men must be providers, it could be you that's waving the red flag. It's been Waving the Red Flag podcast. It's been Eddie. No, I'm not coming after you. I'm just it's the outro. That's just how it works. That's just
That was good. That was good.
what the fuck did I do?
Goddamn, when we was doing so good this whole time.
My story.
Why you put me in it? She just looked at me crazy. It's
Talking
been
shit about
Eddie. It's been Josh. Joined today by the wonderful Zoey Sinn. Where can the people find you? What content should they check out? Da, 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 da. I mean, the live stream seemed to already be fan. They was fans. So
Definitely OnlyFans. I mean, but honestly, everywhere. OnlyFans, Twitter, TikTok is Zoey Sinn. Every platform is the same.
bet. There you go. Hop on Patreon if you want to see the full bonus weeks episode with Zoey. If you want to see our weekly bonus episodes, if you want to join us on live stream, subscribe to this video, turn on the bell so that you can get all the YouTube, notifications when each week's episode drops. That's been the pod. We'll see y'all next week. That's it. Did I forget anything? I've been forgetful this
Nope.
week. I get everything?
Nope.
It's a red flag.